And who else? Vikyat, Sai Advait,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry I missed the last class. I got stuck up somewhere and my phone battery died, so I couldn't join. So nice to see you all. How was holidays going?
Good, Mataji.
You're waiting for the reopening of the school? Or you want the holidays to extend forever?
I want it to be extended for a little because I'm kind of enjoying the Krishna consciousness summer.
Yes, yes. You know what?
You get more time to redo Krishna stuff when, without school on your.
Wonderful. So, you know where there are holidays forever?
Guloka.
Goloka.
Yes. And by studying Bhagavad Gita, we are worshipping Krishna by our intelligence, and will we go back to Goloka?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so this is a step for holidays forever. Okay, Divyan just joined. I think, yeah. Okay, so we will start with prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya
Samyena tamse tasmai Shri Guruve Namah.
Namo Om
Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachari Nirvisesa Sundavadi Pashata Deshitani
Jai Shri Krishna
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Radha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Okay, we are going to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 21 times. Who wants to volunteer to chant on unmute? Rest everyone will be on mute, but will be chanting along.
Can I?
Yes, who's that? Who wants
Divyansh?
to do? Divyansh. Yes, Divyansh. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. So we are going to chant with focus and attention. And what's the meaning of this mantra?
Can I say Mataji? This is Saina.
Yes, Saina.
Oh, so Hare is energy of the Lord, which is Radharani. Please engage me in Krishna's devotional service so I can free myself.
Very good. So, O Krishna, O energy of Krishna, please engage me in your
devotional service. So I can
devotional service. So that is a prayer we are praying. So we are doing it in a prayerful mood where you are attentive. Why should we be attentive while chanting? Why not look at the phone and chant?
It's not like it's rude to Krishna, and you shouldn't really do it as it's like inattentive, and there's no point of chanting the name. So because if you do that, if you're doing like if you do that, for example, you could do it like a sport like basketball, and then say that you're doing your rounds when you're just like chanting your name while doing all of that stuff. It doesn't really work or anything.
Wonderful, wonderful. Varun, I liked your point that it is rude to Krishna, right? It is rude to Krishna to be inattentive. And by doing that, we are not giving proper respect. And then it will take a long time for us to taste the nectar of service to Krishna. Okay, so let's all bear this in mind. Focus on the holy names with a prayerful mind that please engage me in your service. Okay, Divyansh, you can go ahead, count 21 and everyone, including me, will be on mute and chant with you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Three more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Last one. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Wow, wonderful, Divyansh. That was very beautiful, nice, slow chanting. When we focus and then when we have this prayer in the mind, how do you all feel after chanting?
Calm.
Calm.
Sense of calm, like my mind is empty right now.
Very good. Yes, that's what we aim for. We take our mind from everything else and we put that in Krishna.
Mom, did you ask a question? Why do we chant 21?
Okay, we could chant more, but that's, I thought, in this class, we can practice chanting. For those who have not yet started chanting, they can chant. And 21 is like a minimum number of times. That's for small kids. Like when they are 5-year-old, they want to start chanting, then they tell them to chant 21 times. But I would like to chant 108. But since we are lacking in time, we have minimum time, so we are chanting 21.
Okay, Mataji.
I know a 5-year-old that memorized the whole Bhagavad Gita. So all
Yes.
the slokas.
See, yes, so 5-year-olds are not to be taken lightly. They can do a lot of things, right? Okay, so what chapter did we cover the last week and you wrote the test? Not the last week, the last
12th
term.
chapter.
12th chapter. Yes, before the holidays, we did the 12th chapter. So what is the 12th chapter title?
Devotion.
Devotional service, Mataji.
Very good. It's devotional service. Okay. So we are going to do now, obviously, the 13th chapter. And what's the heading of the 13th chapter?
I want to
But you're nature the enjoyer.
yeah.
Nature the enjoyer in the consciousness.
Nature
good.
and the enjoyer of consciousness.
Who said that?
Saina, Mataji.
Saina. Okay. Nature, the enjoyer, and the consciousness. So the nature is about the prakriti, the material nature. And who is enjoying this nature? The soul. How he's enjoying about the soul and consciousness. What is consciousness? So very nicely Krishna is explaining these things. So we are going to read, we are going to memorize text 8 to 12. But there are 5 verses in this, and these verses speaks about the qualities that Krishna says constitute knowledge. Other than this, whatever the qualities are there, they are ignorance. So we are going to memorize this, each one shloka in a week. Okay. So let me, first we'll chant all the 5 verses. You can chant after me. Then we will chant the first verse 3 times. Okay. Amanitvam madambitvam.
Amanitvam madambitvam
Ahimsa kshantirarjavam. Acharyopasanam shaucham. Stairyam atma vinigraha. Indriyarteshu vairagyam. Anahankara eva cha. Janma mrityu jara vyadi. Dukkha doshanudarshanam. Asaktirana bishwanga. Tradara grihadishu. Nityam cha samachittatvam. Ishta nishtopapattishu. Mayi chananya yogena. Bhaktiravyabicharini. Vivikta desha sevitvam. Aratirjana samsadi. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam. Tattva jnanartha darshanam.
Darshanam
Etagyanam miti proktam Ajnanam yadatonyata. Okay, today we are reading only this verse. Okay, first verse. Is it there? Yeah. Amanitvam madambitvam ahimsa kshantirajyavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigraha. Okay, so who can read the translation?
I need the translation, Mataji.
Yes, Varun.
This is Saina, Mataji.
Okay, I think Varun also asked me. Maybe next I'll give you Saina the next slide to read. Varun, do you want to read?
Okay, Mataji. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, in approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control.
Okay, this is what we want to see in this, but to the continuity, okay, so Saina, can you read this? This is the translation of the whole verses of 8 to 12 that we recited now. Can we read this? Can you read this slowly?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perceptions of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance.
Wow. So what is all these Krishna is declaring as?
Knowledge.
So anything that is not in this 19 elements is okay, is ignorance. Now, okay, now can you count how many are there? Slowly count within your mind and tell me how many aspects of knowledge are there here.
16.
19.
19, Mataji.
19.
Yes, 19. Yes, accepting the importance of self. So Krishna is saying that we should, if one has this, that means that one is knowledgeable. Do you want to be in knowledge or do you want to be in ignorance?
Knowledge, Mataji. Knowledge.
Right? Okay, so
Knowledge.
let's see. Being in knowledge is not just reading books and writing exams and getting first marks. So that's what we thought, or being expert, how to live very nicely, how to make money, how to enjoy your vacation the best. So that's not knowledge. Unfortunately, Krishna doesn't say that. Krishna says all these 19 qualities, right? So the knowledge starts with what?
Humility.
Humility, right. So in this particular text, how many qualities are there?
9.
9.
Okay. Now there are no word by word meaning, but
9.
I want you to map this to the Sanskrit. Okay. Styrium. What does styrium mean?
Self-control. Steadiness.
Steadiness.
Okay. What is non-violence? Tell me non-violence in Sanskrit.
Ahimsa.
Very good. Approaching a bona fide spiritual master. Acharya Pasanam. Good job. Pridelessness. Good job. Cleanliness. Shaucham. Very good. Okay. Simplicity.
Shantir.
Arjavam. Yes. Arjavam. Okay. What is for tolerance? Shantir. Okay. And what is for self-control?
Atma Vinigraha.
Very good. So please learn. When you learn the shloka, you map the English meaning to it. Okay. So then you can understand very easily. Arjavam means
Simplicity.
very good. Okay. Adambitvam.
Pridelessness.
Atma Vinigraha.
Self-control.
Mataji.
Shaucham.
Cleanliness.
Shantir.
Tolerance.
Acharya Pasanam.
Approaching a bona fide
spiritual master.
Amanitvam.
Humility.
Good job. So who are these 6 people in this picture?
6 Goswamis of Vrindavan.
Okay, let's try to name them. Do you know who their names?
Rupa.
Wait, I didn't hear anyone. So I'm going to ask someone and you say, okay? Anirudh. Anirudh, answer this. Anirudh.
Okay, Mataji. The 6 Goswamis are Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Raghunatha Dasa Goswami.
Very good, Anirudh. Good job. So these 6 Goswamis exemplified all these characters. So first, let's see about humility and pridelessness. So I call upon now Mishti to read what humility means.
Yes, Mataji. Humility means that one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. Lord Chaitanya said, Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari.
Yes. Do you know this verse? Before that, what comes? Amanina Manadena?
Trinada Pisu Nichena, Tarora Pisa Hishnuna, Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya.
Very good. So Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Where does it come?
3rd verse of Sikshashtakam. 3rd verse.
Angyalila chapter 20.
Very good. 3rd verse of Sikshashtakam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said you need to constantly remember this verse. Okay. So here humility means one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. What do you mean by honored by others?
Like appreciated by them and respected.
Yes, you see, appreciated by others, respected by others. So I want to do that. I want everyone to glorify me directly or indirectly. I cherish that so much. So if we are anxious, then what happens? Then we can't be humble because we are taking the credit for we are doing something, but we don't think that is because of Krishna's mercy. So then that is not humility. Okay. So here you see in Varanasi, Benares, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, there was a group of sannyasis, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to their meeting, and he sat down in the place where everyone would wash their feet. In India, the hygiene system is so good, because as soon as you come out or enter the house, now only they say wash your hands, wipe your hands and all. But when I was very young, my grandmother, even when I was 5 years old, when I used to come outside into the house after playing outside, she would first say, go and wash your hands and legs and mouth. So in that way, all the germs are kept away. You see, now Corona, they say keep washing hands. And even though we wear shoes, when you wash your legs, feet, especially when you wash your feet, you are cooling down the entire body, the tiredness of going outside. So it is so important. Washing hands and feet and mouth is so important that's a special place. So as soon as we enter the house, before entering the house, they have a place for that, and then everybody does that and then enters the house. So where all the sannyasis were there, it's not a clean place, right? Nobody would want to sit in that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat in that kind of a place where everyone's feet are being washed. And the sannyasis, they came and said, no, please come here. Don't sit there. He said, I'm not qualified to sit among you, so I'm sitting here. But he is a supreme personality of Godhead himself, right? But see how humble he is. So then when he went there, then they asked so many questions. Why are you not reading the Shastras like us? Why are you simply sentimentally chanting the holy names? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I'm a fool. Whatever my spiritual master says, I'm doing it. I'm trying to do. And this mantra is so powerful that when I just start chanting it, I cannot control. I get such levels of ecstasy because this is. So he started explaining the glorification of the mantra, the beauty of the mantra, how Krishna is there. And then everyone had so many questions, but all their questions were answered. Then they all started chanting Hare Krishna. So in fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was their guru, means he was teaching them how to do Krishna Prema, how to chant, but he took a very humble position. Do you remember what Nityananda Prabhu did when he went to each person's house in Bengal, knocking them? Anyone knows?
He said, say Hare Krishna to everyone.
He used to put a piece of straw between his teeth to act like to show his
Yes. He used to put a piece of straw between his teeth to show that, I'm nothing. I am this piece of straw and I'm begging you. And what is he begging? Bhaja Gauranga.
Say Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes, he's saying, please chant Krishna's names and please chant Gauranga's names. So see how humble they were. They used to open the door and they used to find nobody. But Nityananda Prabhu at that time, he has already fallen at their feet begging them what, please give me this charity. And they're thinking, oh, what is this person going to ask of us? Is he want some money? Does he want some food? Finally, he says, no, I just want you to chant Hare Krishna. Then they said, yes. Being moved, they say, yes, we will do. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu showed us what is humility. And then there were two Goswamis, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Do you know what they were when they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Before they became Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, do you know what they were?
Kabir Das and Chatur Malik.
They were ministers in the court of the king or the Mughal king.
Yes, very good. They are called Dhabir Kas and Sakara Malik, and that's the name that the king gave them. And the king, in fact, threatened them that if you don't join my service, I will kill so many Hindus, because he knew that they were very, very expert in everything. So they were government ministers and they were making so much money that Rupa Goswami had a boat full of gold coins. Boat full. So he divided them and he gave to everyone. And then they came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then they said that we are so low, we are very fallen than Jagai and Madai. You know why? Because Jagai and Madai did not take up any service with the king. They did all sinful activities, but they did not support the killing of the cow, and they did not support the king. So we are worse than Jagai and Madai, and we don't know who we are. Please accept us. So at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that your humility breaks my heart. You see, Krishna is controlled by humility. And here, do you know what the story of this picture? Who's this?
King Pratap.
Very good. What's he doing?
Sweeping the
floor for Lord Jagannath.
During the Rath Yatra.
Yes. Yes, sweeping the floor of the Lord. Although he was a king, when they're taking Jagannath and coming, he's sweeping in front of the Lord to show that he's not the king, the Lord is the original king. See, that is humility. Okay, non-violence. Let me call upon Sanvi. Okay, Shaurya.
Non-violence means not to put others into distress. One should try to distribute this knowledge. So unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence. One should try his best to distribute real knowledge to people so that they may become enlightened and leave this material entanglement. That is non-violence.
So who can explain to me what is non-violence here?
Can Saina explain, Mataji?
Saina, let me check. I mean, since I've given you a chance, I want to see the others. To give a chance. Yes, Anshu.
So non-violence is like everything is in peace, like everything is under control. And
yes, Anshu, non-violence is like no violence. That's right? No, I mean, not causing any pain to others, right? That is generally non-violence, but here Srila Prabhupada is going one step ahead and saying what is non-violence. Sanvi, do you want to answer?
Yes, Mataji. So I think it's when we earn like more knowledge about the Lord, I guess, and we leave the material world and go to the spiritual one.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we have knowledge about the Lord and we leave the material world and go to spiritual world. But what about those who are suffering in the material world? Should we leave them like that? Let them suffer, and should we ourselves only go back to Godhead? What do you think?
Try to liberate them.
You should try to
The message of
liberate them.
Help them. Like Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda tried to get as many people to be in Krishna consciousness. You should also try to help them.
Yeah, you should spread the message of God and like the Bhagavad Gita and all that stuff. And you should try to encourage other people to get liberated and on the path of Krishna too.
Yes, very good. So, yes, Sanvi?
Like how Srila Prabhupada got many people on the path of Krishna consciousness and on the way to the spiritual world and getting liberated.
Very nice. Yes, that's what Krishna wants us to do. So since we know that this is great path and we have to follow this to become happy, And then so we share it with others. If we don't do that, if we don't share the secret with others, then we are being violent to them. Why? Because we know that they're
Because
suffering.
we're not letting them, because we're not helping them to get liberated.
Yes, that's right. We don't want to share this great secret with them. And that is violence. So non-violence means you explain this knowledge to others. So once what happened, Narada Muni came and he met, who's this in this picture? Can you guess?
Narada Muni.
Okay, this is Narada Muni. This is, who's this in this picture?
Ravana.
Ravana?
Ravana. Very good. So Narada Muni, once, Ravana came in Narada Muni's way and said, hey, wait. Can you give me some spiritual knowledge? Because you've been giving spiritual knowledge to everyone. And then Narada said, oh, Ravana, you're not qualified for that. You need to be humble, Ravana, to ask for spiritual knowledge. So Ravana got angry and he said, Narada Muni, are you sure? What are you talking? Whom are you talking to? You're telling me I'm not humble? Narada Muni said, see, I told you that knowledge cannot be demanded and you're getting angry now. I'm telling you cannot have access to spiritual knowledge with this attitude, Ravana. Ravana was had seething anger. He bit his lips and bit his teeth. You're making me so angry. And he pulled out his sword. And Narada Muni laughed and said, see, Ravana, see, I'm telling you, you're in the mode of ignorance. How will you get, even if I explain, how will you understand this? You're telling me I'm in the mode of ignorance. I'm going to punish you. Nobody can escape me when they tell something about me like this and go alive. And he slashed the sword in Narada Muni's neck. But to his great surprise, the sword went as though there is no one there and came back. It went through the body of Narada Muni and came back. And nothing happened to Narada Muni. So Ravana was amazed. Wow, what kind of body you have. I'm trying to slash you and my sword cannot even touch you. It passes through you and you still stay the same. And Narada Muni said, this is the spiritual body, Ravana. This is the spiritual body. Wow, that's exactly what I want. If I have this kind of body, then I don't need to worry at all. I can fight all the demons. I can go in front of them and stand. And then if they slash the sword on me, nothing will happen to me. Come on. I need to know the secret of how you got this spiritual body. Forget the spiritual knowledge. I want your spiritual body. So Narada Muni said, okay, all right, I'll tell you. To get this spiritual body, it's very simple. You need to just chant Rama, 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 and become the devotee of Rama, Lord Ramachandra. Then when you chant over and over again, then you get perfection and you attain the spiritual body. Oh, don't tell me the name of Rama. Do you think I'm going to chant that human being's name? I'm not going to do this. I don't want the spiritual body. Then he left. So you see how Ravana was so proud. Ravana wanted knowledge, but he doesn't want to take the right path for knowledge. So this is what happened. So, but same way, Narada Muni went everywhere and he gave knowledge to Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, when he was in his mother's womb, Narada Muni taught him all Bhagavatam. And that's why Prahlad Maharaj was so strong in spite of so many troubles. And Dhruva Maharaj wanted to see God no matter what. He was walking to the forest with great determination and Narada Muni initiated him. So Narada Muni is a guru for many, many people because he wants to preach. So he wants to be non-violent. But people like Ravana wouldn't change because they don't want to be humble, right? The first quality of knowledge is humility. Oops, we're off time. Okay, the next one is tolerance. Saina, can you read this?
Okay, Mataji. Tolerance. Tolerance means that one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others.
When somebody insults you, what's your reaction?
You get aggravated.
Mad.
But you shouldn't get
usually get
aggravated.
angry.
We get angry, we get mad, we get irritated, right? Someone is telling, oh, Prahlad is such a bad boy. I know him. He plays during class. He doesn't study. Prahlad, when somebody says this, what do you feel?
Very angry.
Right? Yes. But then here it is mentioned, tolerance means one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. Because why? In this world, there will always be someone who's insulting you and dishonoring you. Always there will be someone, whoever it is. But we need to be practiced to do that. So who exhibited the quality of tolerance as these pictures show?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes, and Prahlad
Prahlad Maharaj is just saying the name of Narayan, even those elephants and like snakes are trying to bite.
Yes, and so many things. Did he get angry at Hiranyakashipu for doing all this?
No.
No.
Chanting Lord Krishna's name.
How can you prove that he did not get angry at Hiranyakashipu? Maybe he was angry in his mind.
No.
To forgive his father. He prayed to
Sorry?
Lord. He prayed to Lord Nrsimha when he appeared to forgive his father.
Perfect, Vikyat. Very good. When Nrsimhadev said that, accept a boon from me, he said, no, I don't want any boon. I just wanted to serve you. I don't want anything in return. But then when Nrsimhadev insisted, he said, please forgive my father. So you can imagine his heart is so compassionate. He's so tolerant. He was not at all. If even after all this, the father who came to kill him, also he did not think bad about him. That is a quality of tolerance. So Prahlad Maharaj exhibited that. And then we can see the next quality is simplicity. Okay, let me call up. Yes, Sanvi. Go ahead, Sanvi.
Simplicity means that without diplomacy, one should be so straightforward that he can disclose the real truth even to an enemy.
Wow, that is simplicity. Who knows what's diplomacy mean?
I thought that by simplicity that meant like you have no life pleasures or material desires. I didn't mean that you had to be straightforward when talking about something. I'm confused now.
Yes, Divyansh, you're right. That's what I thought also. But only when I read Srila Prabhupada's purport, I could understand this. He said, without diplomacy, one should be so straightforward that he can disclose the real truth even to an enemy. So Prahlad Maharaj, when Hiranyakashipu asked him, okay, everyone is so fearful of me in this world. So surprised. How come you're fearless? Where does your power come from? What did Prahlad Maharaj answer for that?
Lord Vishnu.
Lord Vishnu.
Huh?
Lord Vishnu.
Yes, you know what he said? The source of my power is the same as the source of your power. That means you are also deriving power from the same source as mine. You see how Prahlad is directly preaching to his father who is already upset and threatening to kill him. He was not scared. He did not accept, oh, okay, father, you are God. No, he spoke the truth that Vishnu is the supreme and you are Vishnu's servant. So that is simplicity. And then Daksha, so Daksha had so many sons, and I forgot what they were called, Haryasvas. Before that, so they were like so many sons, and Daksha wanted them to increase the population. But Narada Muni came in their way and told them that their life is meant for self-realization. And so they all said that we are not going to marry. We are going to be sannyasis and we want to go back to Godhead this life.
Prachetas,
So sorry?
Prachetas?
No, Prachetas are the third batch. The first batch of 10,000 people, Narada Muni liberated them. And then again, Daksha produced another 10,000, I think, Haryasvas, Shavalasvas, they were called. Again, Narada Muni came and then he preached to them. So Daksha was so angry and Daksha cursed Narada Muni again and again. So you will go all over the universe, always you'll be traveling constantly without any place of shelter. Narada Muni could have counter-cursed Daksha, but Narada Muni took it on him, and then he also told him, I know your goal is you are a Prajapati and you have to make the population, but ultimately anybody in this material world has to be liberated. That is my what to say, that is my contribution and I want that, so I will try for that. So he was so straightforward with Daksha, and even though Daksha cursed, Narada Muni did not fear, and he told him that self-realization and reaching to the lotus feet of the Lord is the goal of life. Same way, can you say between Vibhishan and Ravan, how Vibhishan was straightforward to Ravana?
Vibhishan told Ravana that you should surrender to Lord Ram.
Yes. So
and Vibhishan told Ravana in front of his face, "You're wrong, and Lord Ram is supreme, and that I want to go join Lord Ram." He didn't have fear of Ravana, so he, in front of his face, said, "You should bow down to Lord Ram."
Very good. You see, Vibhishna kept telling Ravana that, please, you don't make this mistake. It's a huge mistake you're making. It's going to cost your entire dynasty. Not even anyone will be alive. I tell you, Rama is so sweet. He's a supreme Lord. If you just give back Sita to him, he'll be very pleased. Vibhishan said, you nonsense. And see, what is he doing to, Ravana said, you nonsense to Vibhishan. And what is he doing to Vibhishan?
He's about to step on his thigh.
Yes, he's kicking him. He kicked him and he said that, get lost from my kingdom. So Vibhishan said, no, okay, I'm leaving to take shelter of Lord Rama. He did not mince on the words. While the whole Rakshasa population, they were telling Ravana, you are invincible, O king, you can do what you want to do. That person is a puny human being, but Vibhishna was the only person who told the truth. And Ravana, if he had listened to Vibhishna, he would have changed, but he did not listen to. So simplicity means we need to tell them, sometimes even if they don't appreciate it so much, we need to be straightforward and tell them, not in a rude way, not in a proud way, but we need to tell the facts for them to understand. Okay, so since time is up, so let's see what we saw today. So we started off with the 8th verse, and then we sought amanitvam. So what is humility and pridelessness? How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, they were humble. How Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami were humble. How King Prataparudra took a very humble position. That non-violence means you need to preach to others or share this knowledge of Krishna consciousness with others. And Narada Muni tried to do this to everywhere. And then we saw how Ravana was so foolish. He did not want to chant the name of Rama. And we saw what is tolerance means. So to practice to bear insults and dishonor. And Prahlad was so much tolerant. And then,
Narad Muni was also really tolerant.
very good, Sanvi, yes. Narad Muni was also very tolerant, yes. So we saw how Narad Muni is tolerant and how Prahlad Maharaj spoke to Hiranyakashipu directly telling Vishnu's source of
Yeah, and
power.
Mataji, Nityananda Prabhu is also very tolerant because some people, when he used to go door to door, some people used to insult him and tell him to get out.
Yes, I know, yes. So he was very tolerant and he continued doing that. And then Vibhishana was also tolerant, but Vibhishana told Rama that you need to be, you don't know the power of Rama. Okay, are you ready for the Kahoot?
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji.
We are ready. Everybody will pass with flying colors. So we didn't have classes the whole summer, right?
Yes. No, we just didn't have class last 3 weeks. So this is the game pin 867-6624.
Wait, Mataji, should we use our real name?
Yeah, you can. You're free to use any name.
So we can put any, okay?
Okay, everyone there?
Yeah,
everybody. No, Mataji.
Bro, why did Jesus come back?
Oh, Bhakta
Jesus is
Prahlad.
back,
Jesus.
boys. Jesus is back.
Ravana is back.
Ravana also came. 1,
Mataji,
2, 3, 4. Yes?
I am not ready.
Return. More button.
Anshuta has joined. Okay.
Okay.
I know where to find who is Jesus is back. Okay, so it's a
That's it?
process. So don't start it yet. Okay, Ravana. Forget it. I don't really care. I think everybody's there because there's 2 teachers out of 14.
I think everyone is here, Mataji. Everyone.
Let's start it.
Okay, so let's start. It's very simple. So you need to be quick. First question, Amanitvam means?
Basically, you have to remember what you did.
Craziness.
No, I mean, no.
It's to be crazy.
It's a search. Okay.
Look at
Bro,
the
what?
score. Everyone has got it right. I'm so impressed.
Bro, Jesus is on top.
Anirudh is leading and Jesus is back.
Jesus
with
is
Saina. Unloading.
Jesus.
Jesus is talking.
Jesus is back, bro. Jesus is back. There's nothing you can do about
One
it.
has to be humble like a dash and tolerant like a blank.
A mosquito and a pig.
Mosquito and a pig.
Mosquito
Mosquitoes
and
are
a pig.
humble. Yes, they take blood
pig
from
and a
other
tree.
people, but they're very
Pigs are
humble.
tolerant.
A pig and a
They
tree.
tolerate the mud, you know.
Only
Well, I
one
got it
person
right.
got
I got it right.
wrong.
How did I go to 6th place?
So,
Depends on your speed.
see, Jesus is back again. Oops.
No.
So, Aditya is back again. Saina with loading and Bhakta Prahlad.
Okay, at least Jesus got knocked down. That's all I care about.
I'm in 6th place, and that's just
That's
because.
2 gifts for preaching.
It's here.
Oh my God, she's
Oh,
Mark.
wow. It's the person in my name.
In what?
I think it's that like blue guy, the guy in the blue. It's my name.
It's who now? Who's saying this? Dang it, I couldn't see it fast enough.
What? Prahlad didn't preach though. Jesus is in sixth
Yeah,
place.
I was looking for Narada.
Allah preached to his own father, Hiranyakashipu.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Aditya was first, followed
I'm
by
tied with Sina.
loading. And Sina has three answers. So Prahlad was so daring. The qualification to get spiritual knowledge is
Be proud.
Be simple.
Yeah. You have to be proud of yourself.
Yeah, be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Wow.
Yes, Jesus is back,
11
guys.
of you got it right.
Jesus is back.
Be simple would also be valid, but okay.
That's right, Vikyat, and loading, and Jesus is back, and Bhakta Prahlad. So good job. Fifth question is Ahimsa is blank.
Oh, I got violence.
It's violent. Who doesn't even know this? Who doesn't?
No. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't call
I'm
violence.
super impressed.
I think freedom fighters in India follow these kinds.
I'm in second place.
Yes, Varun the carrot is in the thing. Good job. Let's go to the
Jesus
next
is
question.
back.
Be ready. Dash and Dash, although were highly placed government officers, they approached Lord Chaitanya with humility.
Oh no. Oh no. No. That was Gopal Bhatta, Gopal Guru.
Oh, I was so slow in this one, mostly because I had to read through them like over
No
again.
one is falling for my misinformation.
Sanatan,
My
Vikyat
God,
had
I'm in
come
fourth place.
first place, followed by Aditya, loading, Jesus is back, and Saina.
No one is falling for my tricks of like giving the wrong answer to everyone.
So easy.
I'm still behind loading. Who's loading?
Wonderful.
I don't know who's loading.
I'm
Who's loading?
Wait, no. Somebody, I think, who said I was behind? Who said that I was
Okay.
behind loading?
Dash
Me,
searched
Sharia.
Narada to wander around in the
Daria,
world.
Jesus is back because Jesus is back was behind loading.
It took you that long
that's
to figure that out, bro?
he was.
How did it take you that
Seven of you
long to
got it
figure
right.
out?
Jesus is back, Sharia.
Daksha, yes.
That's the word.
Bhakta Prahlad is back and Vikyat is first. Jesus is back again in the fourth position.
I'm not.
9 out of 9. Vibhishan was blank with Ravan.
He was angry.
Just honestly, straightforward being the same
Angry at Ramadan because he was saying, everybody, please fall for my tricks. Please say angry. No. Oh yeah.
No, I thought honestly.
Actually, people actually fell.
Why
did I
pick angry? Straightforward meant the same thing.
No, but honest is the same thing as straightforward.
The third place.
Yeah, honest is supposed there. Both of those should have been right.
Yeah.
First place is Saditya Kasturi Haribo.
I got the runner-ups are Shaurya or Anirudh.
No, don't say Shaurya. Say Jesus is back.
Shaurya is Jesus is back.
Well, yeah, but it just sounds better when you say Jesus is back.
Okay,
yeah,
guys.
I'm not going to comment on it.
It is high time that Shaurya gets kicked out of. No, whatever.
No.
He committed a sin. He named himself Jesus.
Well,
so it is, you saw, they understood, right? So Vibhishan was very straightforward. That's what we saw. Simplicity means straightforward, although he was honest also, but he was not like flattering him, Ravana like his other Rakshasas were doing. So we learned about very wonderful qualities. We'll continue in the next class. Anybody has any questions?
No, Mataji.
Thank you everyone for joining. So see you all again. next week. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry, one
Thank you,
thing,
Mataji.
one
Hare
thing I wanted to
Krishna.
ask you
Thank you.
all.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry, one thing I
Hare
wanted to
Krishna.
ask you all. Did
Hare
you
Krishna.
did you all register for the quiz? Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita quiz?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Oh, that's very beautiful. There are different age groups and there are chapters that is mentioned for that. You can go to Evolve Pune website and the details about Leelamrita quiz is there. It is free. Anyone can join. Just that you need to read the chapters from Prabhupada Leelamrita. Because why are we doing this? This year is what is special.
Prabhupada's
125th anniversary.
125th.
Yes, Prabhupada's 125th anniversary. So we all need to know about Srila Prabhupada's life thoroughly. What happens?
Can you send the link to like register for it in like the group?
Yeah, can you send the link in the WhatsApp group, Mataji? Can you send that?
Okay, yes, I will send the link in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Lalitha ki jai. Jai. Lalita Gandharvika Mataji ki jai. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.